And so the next match we have is the Hart Foundation, Brett and Jim Ambo Neidhart, with Danny Davis, former WWF, now E, referee, turned heel, and now making his pro wrestling debut against. Oh no! Wait, in tow with them for some reason they had Jesse the Body Ventura.
I thought you were gonna say Matilda the dog.
No, that's the other side.
Oh, okay.
That's the other side that has Tito Santana, who's also been with us for the past 2 WrestleManias.
Okay.
With the British Bulldogs, who now have their mascot Matilda with them.
Who's my favorite of this match?
The only thing we were missing is Ozzy.
From the last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Maria, who were you rooting for in this one?
Matilda the dog, obviously.
Matilda the dog, okay.
Yes. But like you said, Danny Davis played a great heel in this match. Wearing his striped ensemble, much like Beetlejuice would have.
Right. Now, is there anything in particular for you, Josh, that stuck out of this match?
The beginning, I don't know if you guys got it, but Matilda chased Jimmy Hart around.
I noticed that. Yeah. Good dog, right? I was like, wow.
The way that they managed to get to that dog to actually do that, because we can't get our dog to do anything.
No, except for steal socks. That's about it.
Wow. Well, yeah. And he does that on his own. We don't even tell him.
No, we're like, please don't steal our socks.
So, that's a very good doggo.
I like the fact that both tag teams had their outfits coordinated. You don't see that much when they wear the same thing.
Oh, you're talking about the Bulldogs and the Hart Foundation,
right?
Yeah. There's not a lot of tag teams currently that do any type of coordination now, because I think it's the whole thing. It's where Vince. Well, I really shouldn't say Vince now, but maybe it's something left over from Vince, because now Hunter or Paul Levesque is now in charge of the creative of WWE. So I should get more into the habit of saving when we talk currently that it's either Hunter or Paul's following in Vince's footsteps, or making his own decrees or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's primarily, I think, just so if one is hitting off better, it makes them easier to separate. Okay. And you can move forward without having to hold on to that old gimmick or character that they were holding on to. Like one recently we can think of would be, I forget their name, but when Otis came in here.
Otis Redding?
No, Otis, the big guy from that's now in the Alpha Academy, Josh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And he came in with some other guy. Mm-hmm. And Otis was a hit.
Yeah.
And that other guy is no longer with the company. He's been future endeavored. So
Otis. Also the name of a bus line in a city I can't remember. So I mean, normally I'm rooting for Tito, right? But Davey Boy and Dynamite tagged in.
Baby Blue.
Mm-hmm. And I'm rooting for the Hart Foundation because they're putting in the work.
Yeah, the Hart Foundation at this point in time have taken the tag titles. Mm-hmm. This was said to be because of the rogue referee, Danny Davis, gone wild. Mm-hmm. Has not only taken the titles away from the Hart Foundation, the British Bulldogs, and helped the Hart Foundation win, but he also screwed Tito Santana.
Yep.
And
Shocker.
That gave the belt to the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Oh, Macho.
So, Tito Santana and the Bulldogs are looking for revenge.
Mm-hmm. And they got it for the most part.
Yeah, because Danny Davis, you do some great selling.
Yep.
From what I see, unfortunately, your wrestling career doesn't really take off after this. But this is, if you, for some reason, are a Danny Davis fan, he takes the bumps and he sells like no one sold before.
I mean, he really did. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he did a great job for his first time. The fact that Tito Santana went in there and just went to town on Danny Davis was great. Trying to get revenge for costing him his title. And the Bulldog also got his licks in as well. He did a great job too.
Yeah. And you can see that this is kind of where like Davey Boy is kind of like cementing his own. He's building his own because he's actually working the match a little bit longer than the Dynamite Kid. So
I heard that the Dynamite Kid had issues with his back at that time.
Yeah, he does suffer an injury, and that's primarily one of the reasons why they lost the titles, type of things. But you know, this is. I'm not sure if that injury is holding him back here in this match because in the previous match too, well, not previous matches as far as like this build up, but in the last WrestleMania, Davey Boy also does a lot of work, and he's the one that also gets the pin because he throws the hammer into the Dynamite Kid, and the Dynamite Kid goes flying and is nowhere to be found when it's time for the pin and the win. So.
I know. I saw that Jess ran away with the dog.
Jesse?
Yeah.
He was trying to put a little bandana on him, too.
And that Mary Hart announced that she was not related to Brett.
No.
No relation.
No.
Or Jimmy Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's good for them.
I mean, I saw that flying elbow by Tito was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, right? He gets some good range with that flying elbow, doesn't he?
Was that the one he hit on Brett?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that looked good.
He was dropping bows.
The interference by Jimmy Hart with the megaphone.
Yeah. But that's just to keep the feud going because, you gotta, I guess they had more with the story to tell. They kind of gave a build-up, but what they do with the build-up, they don't give you the time frame.
Right.
So depending on how early in the feud, because if this is Danny Davis's first match as a competitor, then you can't have him losing that fast because then the faces get their revenge so early, and he's just a single guy. So he probably would have to face Tito or one of the Bulldogs, and for it to be technically right in the world in wrestling kayfabe.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Dynamite really did a great job as a heel. What do you think?
Dynamite.
What did I say?
You mean Danny Davis?
Danny Davis. Woo! Danny Davis. Is that my second after Baby Blue? Oh, wow.
This is your second one today because you said the TYJ.
You're right. That's like my third one. I'm still learning.
It's okay. I just wanted to make sure that I understand what you were trying to say.
Okay. But I mean, after all that work, I was surprised that Danny Davis won. It was shocking to me.
Yeah. And that's how the heels you get when you want the story to continue.
Yeah.
You got to keep the baby face chasing for the side of good. Which, I mean, even though it was like an 8-minute and 50-second match, it was still pretty entertaining as far as like the storytelling of this match went.
And who are your favorites of the match?
I
think in this one, I probably would have been going for Tito Santana and the British Bulldog.
Yeah. I've always been a fan of the British Bulldogs. Tito too. They were my favorites to win. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Gorilla says that Danny Davis has been suspended for life plus 10 years.
What?
From refereeing.
That's funny. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So, like, the corpse can't be a referee either? Like, if it comes back zombified?
Guess not.
He's got to wait to 10 years?
Yeah.
No referee for him.
No zombie ref Danny Davis out there.
Yep.
All right, and then